And welcome, guys, to another episode of Off the Wire. We bring this to you every Wednesday, top 5 articles of the week coming your way. And they can always be found right here at the site you're looking at, hoopslounge.com, where we grab everything basketball and everything in between. Jumping into our first article here on Grantland, saying Russell Westbrook is going to be Russell Westbrook, even if it kills him. Showing a couple clips here of him blocking a Paul George shot after the buzzer. Russell Westbrook's kind of one of those reckless guys, and I think he realized that if he didn't have that tenacity to his game, he wouldn't be the same guy. He has all the talent in the world, but at the same time, his game is predicated on an extremely fast pace. He keeps all the defenders on their heels, and I think he's right. I think if he was a guy who just started saying, hey, I'm just going to settle for jumpers, his value would drop. Now there's always the balance. Now, is he going to be able to sustain this over a long career? Doesn't look that way, because not many guys can, especially when you're looking at this replay over and over again. But to play with Kevin Durant and to demand that many shots with the league's best scorer, I think you have to be a bit dynamic. So Russell Westbrook, definitely a big key for the Thunder in these playoffs, as well as Reggie Jackson has played. I think he's going to be the difference maker, especially against Miami. And article number 2 here off RealGM.com, just a simple one. The Indiana Pacers clinch the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Even though they had that brutal slide, they have clinched the number 1 seed, which means home court advantage in the playoffs. They won't get it in the finals. The Spurs get that. That's a whole nother story. But at least this way, Indiana, if they have to face Miami in the finals, if they can get their act together, which I think they can, they're going to have that Game 7 if it goes that far in Indiana. So this could be quite the push. I think Indiana, it's kind of an interesting bit. They're really suffering, having some trouble. But when Coach Vogel benched all their starters, I think it woke them up a bit. I think they still have a lot to kind of put together in terms of ball handling, in terms of assisting. But I think they can put it together, and I still am going to stick to my preseason predictions of seeing them coming out of the East, even though it doesn't look very likely right now. Third article here off ESPN.com. This is actually a really interesting one. This is Kevin Durant's secret weapon is Dirk Nowitzki, and it basically goes on to say, go over his fantastic season that he's had being Kevin Durant and how he's modeled his game off one Dirk Nowitzki. He's been working with Adam Harrington, who used to work with Dirk Nowitzki with Dallas. And it's kind of interesting because he's gone from a perimeter player to understanding the facets of the in and out game and adding more. So Kevin Durant definitely having one of his best seasons of his career, if not the best season, and an MVP could be in the short-term future. Fourth article here off Yahoo Sports, John Calipari reveals the famous tweak that sparked the Kentucky's March revival. Basically, he took one of the Harrison twins, Andrew Harrison, as a point guard and said, you know what, you don't have to be the big-time scorer, just focus on assisting. And it's interesting because John Calipari always has a ton of talent when he's there in Kentucky. Obviously, they're one of the best recruiting schools in the nation, and it's not always easy to balance it out. And with all first-year players, it's tough to get a real feel off what every player is going to bring to the table. And maybe he just figured it out late, and he figured it out in time. So obviously, they did pretty well. Not as well as maybe one would hope, but they did well. And fifth article here. This one's kind of interesting. Lamar Odom, Knicks close to deal with team option for next season. So Lamar Odom getting himself back into the league. Kind of interesting. Phil Jackson, him had success in Los Angeles with Pau Gasol and Kobe Bryant. Obviously not the same crew, but Phil Jackson is one who very much values passing and values kind of overall play. Lamar Odom is a high-level talent, but he's had his off-the-court issues, and we'll see if the Knicks, if there's any team that's going to deal with off-the-court issues, you'd think it's going to be the New York Knicks, because that's what they're good at. Anyways, that has been this week's show of Off the Wire. Hope you guys enjoyed the articles, and as always, check in the comments section of the video to read them yourselves. And as always, if you like it, please like the video, subscribe, and share it with your friends. So we will catch you next time. And as always, thank you for being Off the Wire.